The Studio Cuts Podcast with WRRV.
The Hudson Valley's Alternative 92.7, 96.9 WRRV. Val with another Studio Cuts Podcast. This time as we head all the way out to Berlin with Philip from Milky Chance. And I know timing was funky. I was like, I don't even know the difference between here and there. So I'm glad we were able to.
Where exactly are you?
We're in New York.
New York. Okay, Eastern. So it's 6 hours, right?
6. Okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, here it's like 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, it's like 10:30 in the morning here.
Nice. How's your morning?
Not bad.
Not bad?
It was a little gross this morning, but now the sun is shining and we're excited to be able to chat with you. I know that Clemens, we heard, was sick.
Yeah, he's not feeling all well.
Okay, so we're sending our best wishes to him.
Yes, I will tell him.
Thank you. So things are heating up for you guys with the new song release. Our listeners, I know, are going crazy for Colorado. They were like, wait, is that Milky Chance? We were like, yes, it is. So can we talk about the song?
Yes, please. Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, it was, it's been a while since we released something, and since the lockdown came, and we were also kind of like, okay, what do we do now? We went to the studio a lot and wrote a lot, and we had a bunch of time and like no date ahead, which was kind of like new, but also kind of like felt a little bit like thrown back to the beginning where we started music, because, you know, like when you start music, you don't have anything planned yet. So it was this like very free feeling. And with that, we had a lot of sessions, and we had a session with two other musicians called Deco, and we actually worked on another song for quite a while, like 2 days. And then there just came the point where we didn't feel like having any more ideas, and it was kind of like, you know, sometimes you get stuck.
Right.
We were like, okay, let's take a break. And we had some coffee and just chill. And then I was sitting in the corner and like had a guitar, and like how you do, like you just play around. And then there came this riff, and then like Clemens heard it and subconsciously it started to like mumble, and then Colorado came up like as just, I guess, phonetically a sounding word that fit in there. And then we were like, yeah, and then quickly we had this line like, na 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 Colorado, and then like I get high, like, and then we had this like one line and this riff, and we were like all pumped. And then really in like 2 hours, I feel, we like kind of like wrote the whole chorus and like a first verse, and quickly made this beat, which is also quite minimalistic. And yeah, so the song really came out quickly and unexpected because we actually worked on something else. And we were all really hooked on it.
And now we're hearing rumors that we'll get another song before this year is over, and then there's plans for a new album in 2022.
There is a plan for an album next year, that's for sure. And we definitely want to release more this year, yeah.
Okay.
We're not sure about if it's a song or something like a demo, or, you know, just kind of like what it will be eventually, but there will be new, different music.
That's awesome. Year. And you guys recently took a different direction, like going independent last year, or was that this past year?
It's been this year, beginning of 2020. No, of 2020. Yeah, last year. It's been good. It's been exciting. It's been a lot more work, different work. But it feels good, and it feels like it pays off, and it feels like, I feel it's always nice to like learn new things, and even if it's challenging at the beginning, and like maybe parts of one business or a business that you might be afraid of, or like not feel like this is for me, and then you do it, and like you always learn, kind of. So it's been very interesting, and we have a great team, and it's actually fun. It's fun to work.
It's good. I mean, you kind of get to control the whole picture now, rather than being told go this way, go that way.
Exactly. I mean, it's more responsibility, but it's also more freedom. That's right.
That's awesome. And now I know you guys are back on the road again. What was it like? And this is something we've been asking any artist that we get the chance to talk to, like to not tour and to just kind of be in this place where, you want to be out there with your fans, it's not safe to do so. So what's the feeling on getting back out on the road? And was it a different feeling? Like, were there nerves getting back out there in front of a live audience?
Yeah, it was definitely a big mixture. I mean, first off, I feel for us, like last year, the unexpected break had mixed feelings, but it also had, I mean, for us, we came from a like almost 7 years phase of touring. So it kind of had like a good feeling to it as well, to like have a break. And as I said, to like kind of like have a routine or a daily going to the studio without anything ahead. It had a good effect of like, yeah, feeling like there's a lot of space. It had gave a lot of space for us to like write and be creative. But then of course, like after a year and like after 1.5 years, we definitely like missed or like had a feeling of missing playing live shows and like also like being with a band and being with a crew and like the vibe of like playing a festival and stuff, because I mean the crew and like everything is kind of like a second family for us since we spend so much time together. And so that we got to do this like recently in front of like a lot of people, yeah, felt amazing and like great and was so much fun. But I also have to admit there was something that felt a little like, I wouldn't say like weird, but just a part of it was like maybe confused is better. Just confused of like, yeah, almost just because of like all the input we had from media and like, I mean, the pandemic hasn't happened yet, except in, I mean, not in our lives. So it just felt like that input, and because it was just like a lot that we were confronted with.
Your fans have been excited to be back out with
Yeah, you can tell that too. Like people are so hungry for it, which is understandable and like makes it like the energy was quite high. Yeah, that's for sure.
I felt that too. I went to my first show this past Friday night. And just sitting there, like people were like hugging and holding hands, and it was like, okay,
know,
like
right?
everybody was just dying for that live music experience.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Now, did I really see that you took up pottery during the pandemic? Is that true?
That is true. That's correct. Yeah. Like me and my wife, we had, well, also a bunch of time at home. And yeah, so we had a friend who did it or does it professional. And we sometimes went there. And so he showed us, and we were pretty hooked after we tried it out. And now we have a wheel, and we go to a studio in Bern and make our own cups and vases and gifts for people, which is really nice. And it's just very satisfying. It's a great,
Sure.
it's a great Werkzeug, Handwerk. Like what is carpenter is
Oh, like a craft carpentry.
a craft. It's a great craft. There you go.
And you get to like, stress relief and, show your creativity
Absolutely.
and whatnot. That's awesome.
It's very therapeutic.
Therapeutic. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Did Clemens take on anything during? That's something we've also been enjoying hearing what everybody's been doing. Some people were baking banana bread, and some people got into bowling.
Right. What I've heard is like he had phases of like being quite sporty.
Okay.
Like I think he got his fitness, but that came in phases. Like he had like phases he was really into it, and then I guess he also went into phases of like cooking again a lot, and then that doesn't go well together. So, but I mean it's a hobby as well, and I enjoy cooking as well. It's really fun. So yeah, I guess fitness and I mean yeah, music still was the main craft still that we did.
Now you guys have been together working since you were in high school, right?
That's right.
And then the band
wouldn't have called it work.
What was that?
I just made a joke. Like I wouldn't have called it work back in high school, but
and just kind of met by chance and realized you had a common interest and said like, let's work on this together. And now fast forward all of these years with such great success.
Crazy, yeah.
Do you ever get on each other's nerves?
Um, I think it's surprisingly, and has to speak for our chemistry, that we get along quite well, and maybe that is something special as well about, yeah, how we can be together without, or like, I feel like we just intuitionally really know to give us the space if we like feel the other one is, or like, like, I don't know, it's like in a relationship. I mean, it is a relationship.
Sure.
So yeah, I guess we have a good balance and feeling for the other one when we need to like give space, because yeah, I mean, there is points, I guess, where the other one is thinking like, ugh, you know. But I mean, we also like balance it out well with like, we both have families, so there's always a counterpart that we're excited to be with when we are not together. But then on the other side, also like, am excited once we get together. So I
Sure.
guess that works well. Yeah.
And when you go on the road, do your families typically tour with you?
No, not typically, but once in a while, visit, and like sometimes it fits well from the routing or something, but generally it's not. Yeah, the environment, and it's not fully able to like combine it.
Okay. Now with the tour side of things, in the past you've played some huge festivals. And I think I read that you played, was it, I can't remember which one it was, where you guys played and then Guns N' Roses were on the same stage a little while after. Do you ever get that like starstruck of like, I can't believe we're playing the same festival as this artist?
Yeah, yeah, that was Bottle Rock like 2 weeks
Okay.
ago, and Guns N' Roses and Miley Cyrus headlined after us. And so the tricky part was to choose, because they played at the same time. So like, do you go to Guns N' Roses or do you like go to Miley Cyrus? So what do you think? We did.
I think you went to Guns N' Roses.
No.
Really?
We did go to Miley, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was a big. Actually, yeah, we talked about it because it's funny, because we had some friends in high school that were dying hardcore fans of Guns N' Roses, and even like they dressed like in the first bands in the school, they dressed fully as Slash, with the hair and the hat. So we were thinking the same what you just said. Like, if they would be where we are right now, and like Guns N' Roses plays, they would die for that moment. But yeah, to be fair, I mean, they're a great band, and I think one of my first band shirts was the like, I don't know which album, but with the skulls in the cross, the classic one. So I was kind of a fan, but for some reason, yeah, we were just kind of like excited for Miley because we haven't seen her, and we're also kind of, yeah, just fans of her. So it was hard to pick, but
And her show was
it was
great.
great. It was great. Yeah, it was. It doesn't feel like we missed something.
Okay. Is there anybody that would be on the ultimate lineup that you would love to share the same stage with?
So many. I don't know. I think that's just the big additional gift of what we're doing, and playing festivals, that we get to see so many other artists and like musicians, and that's just awesome. And so like, it's also inspiring because you get to see so much new stuff, and that's cool. I love it.
Would you say that you guys lean more towards the festival experience, or do you like your solo tours?
Yeah, that's also really tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a very different energy, and I really like them both, because in a club tour and your own tour, I mean, it's your fans coming to your show, and also in a closed room, it always feels like that the energy is just more captured, and so a little more intense, like almost as the energy gets reflected by the walls or something. And on a festival, I also love though the feeling of like getting united, because all people come to like kind of like escape the daily life, and yeah, like to experience music, and to like share the love for music. So it's very unique and both very intense gatherings, and I think I would hope we always get to do both, because I think the mixture makes it.
I bet, yeah. And then when you're on a festival tour, who knows? Somebody walks away going, I didn't even know who they were, and now I'm a huge fan, right?
Right? Yeah. that's true.
And you guys typically do work with sustainability efforts when you're out on the road, partnering with a number of different organizations. Is that still the plan with the current tour?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely like tried, like 2 years ago, we just started to kind of like the effort to, yeah, get, I mean, first of all, we had to get our numbers clear and kind of get an idea of what it means, you know, what are we doing? What does it mean in numbers? And then we like, yeah, started to like, in all different aspects to kind of like make little steps to balance it better. And yeah, it's still the goal for like upcoming tours to like work with NGOs, like local NGOs. And we worked for years with Viva Con Agua, which is a big organization here in Europe. They tried to make the step into the US, but haven't yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's definitely the plan to like continue doing that. Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about the tour. We talked about some fun things you picked up during quarantine and lockdown.
Right.
I guess one thing that's still on my list to ask is making the video for Colorado. It's such a funky, fun video. What was that experience like? Where did that idea come from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It was really fun. We kind of like felt, since the song, you know, is kind of like on the surface has like this twink and like I Get High Like Colorado, so it kind of like plays with the, you know, obviously the getting high and like consuming, but then it like under the surface has still that we always kind of like feel in our music, the melancholic vibe. So I guess we like wanted to support that feeling with the visual video to it. And so we just thought it would be nice though if it would be in a kind of like humorous, like as we like referenced it with like Adam's Apples, which is like an old movie from Denmark, or like the movies from I have a hard time today with like remembering names. I don't get it, but I mean, Adam's Apple is one of them. I don't know if you know them. You should watch it. It's kind of like a dark, humorous, you know, like sarcastic kind of, and like it plays with tristesse a lot. So we kind of like wanted to like, yeah, give that like getting high and like kind of like punchline vibe a little more depth through this humor. And it was awesome. Like this hotel was sick. It was crazy because it's an actual hotel still in the 70s, because this lady who founded it with her husband in the 70s, they had it like running, and it was this like sick old, yeah, like hotel, and then he died and she kept the hotel and lived in it just for like nostalgic reasons and kept everything how it was.
Wow.
So there's like this hotel in the middle of nowhere in Germany, and you walk in there and you feel like, wow, you're in the 70s. So that was quite a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gave the vibe, like a groovy. We were watching it at the station. We were like, this is such a fun, like, okay. Like you get right there in the zone. And all of your songs are just so catchy. So like you get it in your head and you're like, I'm happy singing along to this song. So
Nice.
thank you for that.
Thank you. That's really kind words. Thank you.
We enjoy it. We're loving it. Like I mentioned in the beginning, our listeners are really digging it. And we're just happy for this opportunity to have had the chance to chat with you about what's been going on. Excited for the new album. And again, really loving Colorado.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And thank you for taking the time to chat. Again, best wishes over to Clemens that he's feeling better.
I will tell him the wishes and bring him a tea.
Oh, how nice. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, okay?
You as well.
The Studio Cuts Podcast.